In the vastness of the universe, a dark expanse loomed, a vast void that consumed all it touched. This darkness was known to all as a terrifying entity, one that swallowed ships, stars, and souls, leaving only whispers of their existence. For eons, civilizations trembled at its edges, gazing into its depths with a blend of terror and longing. Among these civilizations was the Barzan, a proud species bound by their traditions and fears. For generations, the Barzan elders spoke of the void with reverence, sharing tales of ships that vanish and crews, lost to its insatiable hunger. It was a relentless force, an indifferent abyss that demanded respect. However, within the confines of their sacred halls, a young and heretical scientist named Karos dared to dream differently. He believed that the secrets of the void could be unlocked, not only to understand it but to conquer it, to elevate his species beyond their fears. Despite his passion, Karos faced fierce opposition from the elders. They forbade any exploration of the void, citing the countless lives lost in its embrace. Karos felt trapped, bound by the dogma of his people, yet the spark of curiosity ignited within him, urging him to seek answers. Everything changed the day the humans arrived. A sleek vessel emerged from the void, its hull shimmering with technology beyond Barzan imagination. Captain Alan Coleman, the ship's fearless commander, stood at the helm, his eyes reflecting a mixture of determination and excitement. Humanity had not only traversed the void, but had mastered it, bending its currents to their will. The arrival of the humans sent shockwaves through Barzan society. The elders were in an uproar, their fears reignited by the audacity of these newcomers. Zealots railed against what they perceived as an affront to divine order, demanding the humans be sacrificed to appease the void. But not all were blinded by fear. Karos recognized the potential the humans offered, a chance for salvation and enlightenment. Karos approached Captain Coleman, his heart racing with a mix of hope and trepidation. "We must study your technology," he pleaded. "Perhaps together we can unlock the secrets of the void." Coleman regarded Karos with curiosity, sensing the earnestness in his voice. He agreed, seeing an opportunity to forge an alliance that could benefit both species. As Karos and Coleman worked side by side, delving into the mysteries of the void, they quickly discovered that their greatest challenge lay not in the abyss itself, but in the societal currents of fear and superstition that surrounded them. A cabal of Barzan elders conspired in the shadows, believing that any meddling with the void was sacrilege. They would rather see Barzan burn than allow humans to tarnish their sacred beliefs. Days turned into weeks as the partnership between humans and Barzan flourished, each breakthrough met with both wonder and resistance. Karos and Coleman forged ahead, pushing the boundaries of science and exploration, but the whispers of discontent grew louder around them. One fateful day, Karos and Coleman arrived at the Barzan outpost, their hearts pounding with anticipation. A crowd gathered, murmuring in awe as they witnessed the human ship dock alongside the battered Barzan vessels. It was a powerful symbol of collaboration, a testament to what could be achieved when two civilizations embrace the unknown. Emerging from their ships, Karos and Coleman were met with mixed reactions. Some Barzan regarded them with admiration, while others eyed them with suspicion. Prince Zar, a pivotal figure in Barzan society, stepped forward, his expression guarded. "You have done the impossible," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "You have traversed the void and returned unscathed. This changes everything." With excitement lighting his eyes, Karos replied, "The humans have given us a gift beyond measure. With their technology, we can finally unlock the secrets of the void." But even as he spoke, Karos sensed the tension simmering beneath the surface. Some Barzan murmured prayers to the void, begging for forgiveness for this perceived transgression. Coleman stepped forward, arms open in a gesture of goodwill. "We come in peace," he said, his voice calm and reassuring. "Our technology is meant to help, not to harm. We wish only to share our knowledge and learn from you in return." His words hung in the air, but the unease among the Barzan only grew. Escorted to the central hall for a debriefing with Barzan leadership, Karos and Coleman could feel the weight of countless eyes upon them. The discussion that followed was fraught with tension, as Barzan leaders debated the implications of human technology. Some argued for the potential to harness the void, while others insisted it was a betrayal of Barzan traditions. As days turned into weeks, news of the successful void crossing spread like wildfire. In the capital city, factions formed, alliances shifted, and the royal court was thrown into chaos. Karos and Coleman found themselves at the center of this maelstrom that every move scrutinized and debated. Despite the turmoil, they persevered. Long hours were spent explaining the intricacies of human technology to Barzan scientists and engineers. Yet, they could not shake the growing resistance from the more traditional elements of Barzan society. Zar, torn between fascination and duty, spent hours arguing for caution and restraint in dealing with the humans. Tensions escalated when Zorak, the high priest, condemned the human presence, claiming they profaned the sacred mystery of the void. "We must cast them out before they bring ruin upon us all," he proclaimed. Karos felt his heart sink as murmurs of agreement echoed through the assembly. As the political landscape shifted, Karos knew they were running out of time. They had to bridge the gap between their cultures, showing the Barzan that embracing change need not mean abandoning their heritage. But every day that passed brought new challenges, as the forces against them grew stronger. In a dimly lit chamber deep within the royal palace, a group of hooded figures gathered. Their whispers spoke of the need to protect the void's sanctity, to purge the human influence from Barzan soil. Little did they know that their actions would ignite a conflict that would shake the very foundations of both civilizations. As dawn broke over the Barzan capital, the air crackled with tension. The royal court convened once more, and Karos stood at the back of the chamber, heart heavy with dread. Zorak's voice boomed, demanding action against the humans. "They seek to defile our traditions," he cried. But before the chaos could fully erupt, a slender figure emerged from the shadows. "Karos," she whispered urgently, "follow me." In the days that followed the chaos at the royal court, Karos and Alan found themselves in a whirlwind of activity. The tension among the Barzan people was palpable, with factions forming at every turn. Some celebrated the arrival of the humans, seeing in them a beacon of hope and progress, while others viewed them as a threat to their very existence. The delicate balance of trust they were trying to build was at risk of unraveling, and they had to act swiftly to ensure their mission's success. The newly established alliance had begun to bear fruit. Karos and Alan worked tirelessly in their hidden laboratory, combining Barzan technology with human advancements. Each day brought new revelations about the void's nature. They discovered that the void wasn't just an empty space, but a complex network of exotic particles and fluctuating dimensions that could be manipulated with the right tools and knowledge. The Oasis system, designed to harness these energies, was their greatest hope for change. Prince Sal remained their steadfast ally, frequently visiting the lab to offer support and ideas. He was torn between the fear of tradition and the undeniable allure of the advancements being made. Zar's struggles were evident, as he often found himself gazing at the prototypes with a mix of wonder and doubt. It was during one of these visits that he confessed to Karos, "What if we're not meant to control the void? What if this is a punishment for humanity's hubris?" "Your Highness," Karos replied, his voice steady, "the void has claimed far too many lives for us to remain in fear. We have the opportunity to change that. By mastering it, we can ensure the safety of both our peoples." Zar nodded. A furrow in his brow remained. "I will stand with you, but you must prepare for the backlash. Zorak and his followers will not accept this lightly." That night, as Karos and Alan prepared for the next phase of their project, the atmosphere in the lab buzzed with anticipation. They were ready to present their findings to the Barzan leadership, hoping to sway the undecided factions. They knew this meeting could be pivotal, a moment that might define the future of both races. As dawn broke, the sun cast its golden rays over the Barzan capital. The royal court was packed, filled with nobles and dignitaries eagerly awaiting the demonstration. Kairos stood at the forefront, flanked by Alan and Zar, who wore a resolute expression. The weight of expectation hung heavy in the air as Kairos cleared his throat. "Esteemed members of the royal court," he began, "we stand on the precipice of a new era. Today, we will show you how the void can be our greatest ally, not our enemy." Holographic displays flickered to life behind him, illustrating their research and findings. As he spoke, Alan activated the prototype Oasis system, and the chamber filled with a soft, ethereal light. The holographic representation of the void appeared, swirling with colors and patterns previously unseen. Gasps echoed through the chamber, the assembly captivated by the beauty of the complex dance of void particles. Kairos continued, "Imagine ships that can traverse the void in mere days instead of months. Imagine resources and knowledge flowing freely between our worlds." The images morphed into visions of exploration, showcasing Barzan ships sailing through the void with grace and speed. The nobles murmured among themselves, their initial skepticism slowly giving way to intrigue. Kairos could sense a shift in energy, hope flickered in their eyes. Yet, just as the tide seemed to turn, Zorak's voice boomed from the back of the chamber. "You dare to defile the sacred mystery of the void. This is not a gift, it is a curse." The uproar was immediate. Zorak's followers rallied behind him, their shouts drowning out Kairos's words. "The humans are bringing ruin. We must banish them before they unleash the void's wrath upon us." Alan's expression hardened as he turned to Kairos, silently conveying their shared concern. They knew the fear of the unknown was powerful, and Zorak was exploiting that fear to further his agenda. With emotions running high, chaos erupted in the chamber. In the midst of the uproar, Zar raised his hand, attempting to quell the crowd. "Listen, the humans have risked their lives to unlock the void's secrets. We owe it to them, and to ourselves, to at least hear them out." Gradually, the noise began to die down. Kairos took a deep breath, seizing the opportunity. "We are not here to conquer or defile the void. We seek to understand it, to work together for a better future." He gestured to the hologram, now displaying images of Barzan cities flourishing, powered by the resources gathered from the void. Some nobles leaned forward, their curiosity piqued, while others remained steadfast in their fear. The chamber held its breath, waiting for Zorak's response. "Curiosity leads to destruction," Zorak thundered, his gaze piercing through the crowd. "We must honor our traditions, not abandon them." Kairos felt a surge of determination. "We can honor our past while embracing our future. The void is not just a place of terror. It can be a source of unimaginable potential if we dare to explore it together." Just as the debate reached a boiling point, an unexpected ally emerged. Laser, the mysterious figure from the shadows, stepped into the light. "Enough," she declared, her voice commanding. "I've seen what the humans can do. They faced the void and returned unscathed. They have not only proven their worth, but have offered us a chance to elevate our civilization." Zar nodded vigorously. "Laser speaks the truth. We must listen to these brave souls who seek to lift us from our fears." With Laser's support, the tide began to shift once more. The nobles started to reconsider their positions. Kairos and Alan exchanged glances, hope igniting within them. The atmosphere grew charged with possibility. The court erupted in discussion, voices rising and falling like waves. Kairos seized the moment, emphasizing their shared humanity and the power of collaboration. "If we work together, we can forge a path through the void, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come." The discussion continued late into the night, the lines between fear and hope blurring as Kairos and Alan fought to win over the undecided. Their shared knowledge became a bridge, linking two worlds together, a testament to what could be achieved when collaboration triumphed over fear. As the evening deepened, the court began to lean towards acceptance. A proposal for further research and cooperation was put forth, offering a chance for the humans and Barzan to work side by side in unlocking the void's secrets. But Zorak was not done yet. We cannot forget the cost of this endeavor, he warned. There are forces beyond our control that we cannot fathom. We must tread carefully, lest we invite disaster. With the court adjourned, Karos, Alan, and Zal retreated to the lab, feeling both the weight of their victory and the shadows of uncertainty looming over them. They were acutely aware that the battle for the hearts and minds of the Barzan people was far from over. Laza joined them, her expression grave. We must act quickly. Zorak's followers are planning something, and we need to be prepared for anything. Karos felt a chill run down his spine. We need to gather our research and solidify our findings. If we can prove the void can be controlled, we may stand a chance. As they worked through the night, their resolve grew stronger. The alliance was fragile, and they would have to navigate the treacherous waters of Barzan politics, all while continuing their groundbreaking research. Days turned into weeks as they pushed forward, racing against time. The knowledge they uncovered was revolutionary, and they found themselves at the forefront of a new era, but Zorak's influence loomed ever larger, and whispers of dissent grew louder. In the darkness of the shadows, Zorak's agents were working tirelessly, spreading doubt and fear throughout the realm. Karos and Alan would need more than just scientific breakthroughs to secure their place in Barzan society. They would need to win the hearts of the people. As they labored on their research, preparing for the next presentation before the royal court, Karos couldn't shake the feeling that the void was watching them, a silent observer ready to reveal its true nature. The stakes had never been higher, and they were at the precipice of something monumental. If only they could master both the void and the fear that clung to the hearts of the Barzan people. The dawn of a new era was within reach, but the shadows of doubt and fear threatened to consume everything they had worked for. They had to remain steadfast, for the future of two civilizations rested upon their shoulders, and in the depths of the void, they sensed that change was coming, both magnificent and terrifying. The weeks that followed the presentation were filled with both excitement and anxiety. Karos, Alan, and Zal had gained momentum, and their research was beginning to yield tangible results. The prototype of the Oasis system was nearing completion, and with it, the potential to harness the void's power. But beneath this hopeful surface, the threat of Zorak and his followers loomed larger, casting a shadow over their progress. Zal took on the role of a diplomat, working tirelessly to bridge the gap between the factions. He arranged meetings with the various leaders, advocating for unity and the acceptance of human innovation. Each conversation was met with mixed reactions. Some leaders expressed optimism, while others remained staunchly opposed, echoing Zorak's warnings of doom. Karos and Alan found solace in their work. The lab became a sanctuary where they could focus on their groundbreaking discoveries. They spent hours experimenting with the Oasis system, manipulating the void's exotic particles and discovering new ways to control its energies. With each success, their confidence grew, yet they remained aware of the ever-present danger of dissent. One evening, as they were preparing for another demonstration, the atmosphere in the lab grew tense. Alan glanced at Karos, concern etched on his face. I overheard some of Zorak's followers discussing a plan to sabotage our next presentation. They believe that if they can discredit our research, they'll sway the court back to their side. Karos frowned, feeling a knot form in his stomach. We can't let that happen. If they succeed, it will set us back irreparably. We need to prepare a failsafe, something that will demonstrate the reliability of our findings. Just then, Laser entered the lab, her expression serious. I've been gathering intelligence on Zorak's movements. He's planning to disrupt our next demonstration and is rallying his followers to create chaos during the presentation. Zal clenched his fists, anger flickering in his eyes. We can't allow fear to win. We have to show the court that our work is essential for the future of both our peoples. Agreed, Karos replied, determination surging within him. We'll need to gather support from the factions that believe in us. If we can unite the moderate voices against Zorak, we may stand a chance. As they strategized, the clock ticked ominously toward the day of the demonstration. Karos, Alan, and Zal reached out to sympathetic leaders, hoping to build a coalition that would stand against Zorak's influence. They organized a gathering to showcase their findings, inviting anyone willing to listen. On the day of the demonstration, the air crackled with tension. The royal court was filled with nobles and dignitaries, all eager to see the latest developments. Kharaz stood at the front, flanked by Alan and Zar, who wore an expression of fierce determination. They had gathered a diverse audience, including those who had previously been skeptical but were now willing to give the humans a chance. Kharaz began his presentation, showcasing their latest advancements with the Oasis system. The holographic displays illuminated the chamber, displaying intricate data and projections of what the future could hold if they successfully harnessed the void. He felt the weight of every eye upon him, the hope and skepticism intermingling in the air. As Kharaz spoke, the tension in the room was palpable. He could see Zorak seated at the back, his expression a mask of disdain. Every point Kharaz made was met with murmurs of approval, yet the shadow of dissent was still lurking. When Kharaz demonstrated a small-scale simulation of the Oasis system in action, showcasing its ability to manipulate the void, gasps filled the chamber. The holographic display portrayed a miniature ship seamlessly navigating the void, a testament to their hard work and dedication. But just as the momentum shifted in their favor, Zorak rose to his feet, cutting through the applause like a knife. "This is nothing but smoke and mirrors. The void is unpredictable and dangerous. These humans would lead us to ruin." The assembly erupted into chaos, voices rising in heated debate. Kharaz felt his heart race as he glanced at Alan and Zar, who were equally troubled by Zorak's interference. "Enough," Zar shouted, raising his voice above the crowd. "We must not let fear control us. This is an opportunity to shape our future. We cannot let one man's paranoia dictate our destiny." Zorak's eyes flared with anger. "You speak of destiny, but what about the lives we risk? Are you willing to gamble our future on this experiment?" The audience shifted uneasily, and Kharaz realized they were at a tipping point. "We don't seek to gamble with lives," he interjected, his voice steady. "We want to save them. The void has already cost us too much. If we work together, we can transform our understanding of it and use it to protect our worlds." With a renewed sense of urgency, Kharaz activated the Oasis system once more, this time showcasing a projection of a protective shield generated by the void's energy. "Imagine a barrier that can shield us from any threat, a way to protect our cities from the dangers of the void. This is our vision. Together we can achieve it." The holographic shield shimmered in front of the crowd, and the silence that followed was deafening. For a moment, hope hung in the air, but Zorak was relentless. "A shield? You think that can protect us from the void's wrath? This is folly." But a voice rose from the assembly. "What if he's right? What if we can learn to harness the void's energy for our defense?" It was one of the younger leaders who had initially been skeptical but now appeared intrigued by the possibilities. Encouraged, Kharaz seized the moment. "Exactly. We can turn the void into an ally, not a foe. With your support, we can secure our future and usher in an era of prosperity for both our peoples." Slowly, murmurs of agreement spread through the crowd. Kharaz felt a surge of hope. "We can't let fear win. We are stronger together. We can learn, adapt, and thrive." Zorak's face twisted in fury as he saw his influence waning. "You are fools to trust these humans. I will not stand idly by while you endanger our civilization." With that, Zorak stormed out of the chamber, a fury of discontent trailing behind him. The remaining nobles exchanged glances, their expressions shifting from fear to determination. Zar stepped forward, rallying the assembly. "Let us embrace this chance. Let us stand together and support our friends from Earth. If we unite, we can conquer our fears and usher in a new era." Kharaz looked around, sensing the change in energy. "Together, we can harness the void and build a better future." As the court erupted in applause, Kharaz felt the weight of their struggle begin to lift. They had weathered the storm, but Zorak was still a formidable opponent, and his followers would not simply fade away. The alliance between humans and Barzans was fragile, but it had taken a significant step forward. They had shown that cooperation was possible, and that fear could be countered with knowledge and determination. Later, in the sanctuary of their lab, the team gathered to celebrate their victory. The atmosphere was charged with excitement, but a shadow of concern still lingered. "We've won the court's support for now, but Zorak will regroup," Alan warned, pacing the room. "He won't give up easily." Without hesitation, they sprang into action, each member of the team focused on their task. Kairos raced to the control panel, his mind racing as he assessed the damage. He felt a sense of urgency wash over him. Failure was not an option. As he worked to restore the systems, he could hear the chaos unfolding outside the lab, shouts and the sound of footsteps echoing in the corridors. Meanwhile, Alan fought to stabilize the main power source, wrestling with wires and circuits. Sweat dripped from his brow as he focused on reconnecting the severed lines. He could feel the weight of their collective hopes resting on his shoulders. Come on," he muttered, desperately working to get the systems back online. "We can't let Zorak win." Zar coordinated the security team, his leadership shining through the chaos. He barked orders, ensuring that the area around the lab was secure. "We need to prevent Zorak's followers from disrupting us any further. Keep everyone back until we're ready." Just as Kairos managed to restore a key function of the control systems, a loud crash echoed through the lab. The door burst open, revealing a group of Zorak's followers, their faces twisted with anger and determination. "Stop them," Zar shouted, standing his ground as the intruders rushed forward. Kairos felt a surge of adrenaline as he stood between the attackers and their work. "We won't let you sabotage us," he declared, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. Alan quickly finished reconnecting the power lines, feeling a spark of energy surge through the lab as the systems powered back to life. "We're back online," he shouted, a mix of relief and determination flooding his voice. With renewed energy, Kairos activated the safety protocols for the Oasis system, projecting a shield around the lab just as the followers advanced. The energy barrier flickered to life, creating a protective wall that kept them at bay. Zar seized the moment, rallying the security team. "We will not let fear dictate our actions. Stand firm." As the two groups clashed, Kairos felt the weight of the moment. They were not just fighting for their project, they were fighting for the future of their civilizations. The clash of wills echoed around them, a testament to the struggle for progress amidst the darkness of fear. Finally, just as the chaos reached its peak, the energy within the lab shifted. The light from the Oasis system surged, illuminating the room and drowning out the chaos. Kairos realized that this was their moment to take a stand. "Everyone listen," he shouted, his voice rising above the turmoil. "We're on the brink of something extraordinary. The Oasis system is not just a project, it's a beacon of hope. We can harness the void to protect our worlds. Let us unite for our future." The fighting began to slow as the followers hesitated, uncertainty flickering in their eyes. The energy of the Oasis system pulsated, resonating with the room and drawing the attention of everyone present. Alan took a deep breath, stepping forward beside Kairos. "We've worked tirelessly to create something that can change our destinies. Together, we can rise above our fears and build a brighter future." Zar raised his voice, echoing the sentiment. "Let's put aside our differences. We have the power to shape our reality and create a legacy that will echo through time." In that moment, the tide began to turn. The voices of dissent faltered as the realization of their collective strength dawned on the assembly. The energy from the Oasis system filled the lab, creating a barrier not just of protection, but of hope. One by one, the followers began to lower their weapons, uncertainty giving way to contemplation. Zorak's influence was powerful, but the promise of unity began to shine brighter. "Enough," a voice called out from the crowd. It was one of the leaders who had previously been aligned with Zorak, but now seemed torn. "We cannot allow fear to dictate our actions any longer. If we work together, we can transform the void into something that can protect us all." With that declaration, the mood shifted. The intruders began to step back, their hostility waning as they considered the vision laid before them. Kairos felt a surge of hope as the tide of dissent began to break. In that moment of unity, the Oasis system hummed with energy, the display showcasing its potential to manipulate the void for the good of all. Laza nodded, her expression thoughtful. "We need to prepare for whatever he has planned. We must stay vigilant." Kairos took a deep breath, his mind racing. "We can't let fear dictate our actions. We have to continue our work on the Oasis system. The sooner we demonstrate its reliability, the harder it will be for Zorak to undermine us." As they discussed their plans, the bond between them grew stronger. They were more than just collaborators, they were allies united by a common goal. Each member of the team understood the stakes. This was not just about their research, but about the fate of two civilizations. Days turned into nights as they poured their hearts and minds into the Oasis system. Every breakthrough felt monumental, yet the threat of Zorak's descent lingered in the background. They knew they had to remain one step ahead, not just for themselves, but for the future of both humans and Barzans. As the shadows of doubt continued to dance around them, Kairos felt a flicker of determination within. They were on the brink of something extraordinary, and together, they would navigate the storms ahead, forging a path through the void toward a brighter future. But deep within the shadows, Zorak was plotting his revenge, and the storm was far from over. The path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, yet the fire of hope burned brightly within their hearts, guiding them as they prepared for the trials to come. With the court's backing, the team pressed forward with their work on the Oasis system, each day bringing them closer to a full demonstration. However, the atmosphere was charged with tension. Zorak had not vanished. His discontent had only grown more fervent, rallying his followers to undermine their efforts at every turn. Reports of dissenters sabotaging equipment and spreading rumors reached Kairos, Alan, and Zar like whispers in the wind, threatening to unravel all they had worked for. In the midst of this chaos, Kairos found himself in a state of deep contemplation. The weight of responsibility felt heavier with each passing day, and he often retreated to a quiet corner of the lab to gather his thoughts. One evening, as he gazed into the holographic display of their work, a flicker of doubt crossed his mind. Would the Oasis system truly protect them, or would it be their downfall? "Hey," Alan's voice broke through his reverie. "You've been quiet lately. What's on your mind?" Kairos turned to face his friend, a faint smile crossing his lips. "Just wondering if we're ready for what lies ahead. Zorak is relentless. I fear he may find a way to turn the tide against us." Alan nodded, understanding the weight of Kairos' concerns. "We've prepared as much as we can. We need to trust in our work and in each other. Remember, we're not alone in this. We have allies, and we've built something incredible together." Zar entered the lab, his expression resolute. "The final demonstration is approaching, and we must remain vigilant. We can't let Zorak's followers disrupt our efforts. I've gathered a security detail to protect our presentation. We need to showcase the Oasis system and its capabilities without interference." "Good idea," Kairos agreed. "If we can demonstrate its effectiveness, it will silence Zorak and strengthen our position." As the days passed, the anticipation for the demonstration grew. The day of reckoning loomed on the horizon, a pivotal moment that would define the future of both civilizations. The team worked tirelessly, refining their system, ensuring every detail was perfect. The lab buzzed with energy as they prepared their final presentation. On the eve of the demonstration, a sense of camaraderie enveloped them. They shared stories and laughter, reminding each other of the shared dream that had brought them together. As they stood together, united by their vision, Kairos felt a warmth in his heart, a flicker of hope igniting his spirit. However, that hope was soon threatened. During a final equipment check, alarms blazed through the lab. "What's happening?" Zar shouted, his eyes wide with alarm. Alan rushed to the control panel, his fingers flying across the screen. It looks like there's been a breach. Someone has tampered with our systems. Panic coursed through the team as they rushed to assess the damage. The sabotage was significant. Crucial components of the Oasis system were disabled, jeopardizing the entire presentation. Zorak, Kairos exclaimed, realization dawning upon him. He's trying to undermine us before we even begin. We have to act fast, Zar said urgently. If we don't fix this, the demonstration will fail, and Zorak will use it against us. Let's split up, Alan suggested, determination etched on his face. We can divide and conquer. I'll head to the main power source and see if I can reroute it. Kairos, you work on the control systems. Zar, gather the team and alert security. We can't let anyone else in here until we're ready.